What would happen if you took yourself serious and planned out the next 12 weeks? This is a year we're coming after everything God said we can be without excuse. When I said yes to God again in October to show up online in my most authentic self, I went from 400 to 1,000 subscribers in 2 months. Follow along with me as I have created this Notion template. If you want to get the Notion template, I have linked it in the description. The template is set up in quarters, but understand that wherever you are, your 12 weeks can start today. This is what we're going to do to achieve success. If you're stumbling on this video in May, then your quarter starts in May. What will happen if we decide to put a plan in place for the next 90 and then build on what works and leave behind what doesn't? At the end of the year, we're looking back at all the things we did because we were willing to steward what we had. If you're ready to slay your goals and see success in 12 weeks or less, let's go ahead and get into this dashboard. This is your 12-week game plan for single focus success. Many of us are multi-passionates, meaning that we have so many ideas going in our brain, so many things that we can accomplish at one time in one place. This day, we are deciding that we are going to be single focused for the first 12 weeks of the year to achieve the goals that we want to set by one decision that we are willing to make today to create the results for tomorrow. This is the clock. This will allow you to see the time and the date. You're able to see what quarter you are currently in, and then your 1 year vision. Let's start here. I want us to take some time to just think about and talk about our 2023. If you have duplicated the template, you should be able to write directly in it. Think of visions as like the three main goals that you want to tackle in 2024. We can think spiritual, we can think personal, we can think business. Think large, think attainable, because once we go into the 12-week planning, that vision for all 2024 is not going to change, but your focus, the little bite-sized piece to accomplish the large will change. Get as specific as possible. Go big or go home, right? Instead of saying I want, put I will. Let's say what we are going to do. For example, I will become proficient in Haitian Creole to have a basic conversation with my husband and his family. When we get into the 12-week planning, I'll break down that goal into one focus for the next 12 weeks. For example, over the next 12 weeks, I will learn the basic framework of the language. Let's say I want to grow 12,000 followers on TikTok in the next 12 months, then I would divide that by 4, and that would give me 3. So my focus once we go into the 12-week planning is to generate 3,000 followers over a 12-week span. If you say you want to save $10,000, then divide that $10,000 by 4, and that will give you the amount that you need to save in the 12 weeks. When it comes to saving money, you want to have at least 3 to 6 months in your savings based off of your living expenses. Calculate how much it costs for you to live comfortably within a 3 to 6 month window, or even a 12-month window. If we know that this is going to be something we're following for the next 12 months, how much do you need to live comfortably on your savings over a 12-month span? When we get into the focus and the strategy, then one of your strategies is going to be generating additional income. If you feel disappointed and you feel uncomfortable, we now have to ask the question, are we putting too much pressure on ourselves? Because something in us is telling us we have to just keep filling the plate, filling the plate, filling the plate. And I believe that in this season, in 2024, God is going to do a lot more with less, with simplification and from a rested place. Because that is what, since 2019, God has been teaching us how to build while rested, how to create while rested. Rested being in relationship, in communion, in a be still and know that I am God state. Vision 1 is I will become proficient in Haitian Creole to converse with my husband and in loves. Vision 2, I would generate 100K in my business. in Vision 3, I will write my book. I've been trying to write this book since 2020. Every time I get ready to step up to the plate, I'm like squirrel because I think of something else I can be doing. And for me, if you don't know, I have a podcast. I have 4 seasons of a podcast, but the Lord was very clear that my podcast doesn't restart until I write the book. I'm seeing all these podcasts and all these innovative, and I'm like, but I can do this. God's like, I told you to write this book. And I keep dragging my hand. That's probably why I lost my job too, because he like, listen, I need you to do the things I told you, not the things you want to do. That's a word for all of us. That's why the book is going to be on obedience. Let's go ahead and start planning this thing out. If y'all click on Q1, I do want to say I just went ahead and put Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 because we are starting in December to map out for January, which is in T minus 3 days. But if you get off track, if you get distracted and you realize in May that you want to get back on track, your 12 weeks don't have to follow our traditional quarter system. The goal is to just be focused for a 12-week period. That's the goal. I don't want you to get discouraged if you do fall off or if something happens and it doesn't look like what you think. Please pick yourself up and keep going. We're gonna hit this arrow for this start here section. For this start here section, this is where we're kind of just rating. What does my professional development look like? I'm gonna give myself a 7 out of 10. There's a lot of the stuff I be doing with my content and everything. I be leveraging AI, okay? One thing I will do is leverage AI across all platforms. And I'm not just talking like Chat GPT. I don't know if you guys have seen those 2 videos I published where the app literally dubbed my sound and translated my videos into French and Spanish using AI, which was like, and I asked like native speakers, and they were like, for this to be an app, it's pretty spot on, minus like some verb changes. I will give you just a brief overview, but this is something I would like you guys to spend some time doing in your solitude with the Lord. Just giving a rating of where you are in these categories and writing out the reality. So if you're saying it's a 7, if I'm saying my professional development is a 7 out of 10, it's like I am challenging myself to learn new skills and methods. Then you can get as detailed as you want in this area. In this category, I'm saying my reality is I'm challenging myself to learn new skills and methods. 12 weeks later, I'm going to focus in on understanding how composing hooks for videos that grab the attention of the viewer. If generating money in my business is one of my long-term visions, then when we scroll down and get into like focuses and daily steps and habits, social media and video strategy will be a part of that. This is a high priority to me. That's just an example of how you're going to evaluate each area in your life. At the end of the 12 weeks, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the template, you'll be able to give yourself a new rating and what your current reality is as you prepare to plan out your next 12 weeks. This start here, right here, the professional
Yes.
development. This is you doing some self-evaluation of where you currently are in these categories, because these categories can show up in how you execute your visions. Because if your health and wellness isn't where it should be, like a 10 out of 10, that can hinder how you show up for yourself over the next 12 weeks. If there are categories that are missing that you feel would be more beneficial, you can always add them. When you scroll down, you just click this plus sign and you can add a new column. I'm going to highlight that word basics because I feel like it needs to be more specific. Now let's start to narrow in on a 12-week focus of the larger vision. So at the end of the 12 months, I will be proficient in Haitian Creole to converse with my husband and in-laws.
So in the next 12 weeks, focus one is I will learn level one of Haitian Creole on Pimsleur. Focus two, I will generate 25K in my business. Vision three is I will write my book on obedience. My focus over the next 12 weeks is I will write a detailed outline for my book because that's where I have struggled. We are going to copy each focus into its respective box. And if it's easier for these to be wider, you can just move it down. I'm going to do that for mine so that you have more. I will spend 30 minutes a day learning. I will have one conversation a week with my husband. I will watch 1, 2 videos a week. If there aren't 5 strategies, that's okay. If three is all you can squeeze out, then squeeze it out. I can only squeeze 4 out of this one. Focus one, I will learn level one of Haitian Creole Pimsleur. I will spend 30 minutes a day learning. I will have one conversation a week with my husband. I will watch one YouTube video or listen to a radio show a week. And I will spend 10 minutes writing what I learned each day. How does this translate over to habits for daily is just really focusing on the daily things that you're going to do. What's that one daily habit that you plan to do? So you'll just click it and I will put spend 30 minutes learning level one of Haitian Creole. Let's put watch a YouTube video and then let's put spend 10 minutes writing what I learned for the day. If you need to add more, you just hit this plus sign new to add it. And then I would just put have one conversation with my you customize it for each week because it might change. Like you might realize that that habit doesn't work and you want to put something else. These are the strategies I'm going to focus on. However, I may realize that this needs to change to like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Those are flexible once you get into your habit. The goal is to be consistent and intentional. And you can be consistent doing nothing, but you want to be consistent in the forward direction, moving towards the larger vision. This is your template to customize however you need or see fit as you begin to problem solve and put a plan in place.